If you win this test, you can get $100 million. But here's the weird thing. The test paper turned out to be a blank sheet of paper. This is clearly a scratch paper. The people taking the test are so confused. They thought this is supposed to be an exam. But now there's not even any questions at all. How do we answer that? Some people thought maybe there's a layer in between. But it turns out to be just one sheet of paper. The examinees start to get fidgety. Just when everyone was confused, a woman started writing first. She didn't care what the problem is. She just started to answer, but after only a few words, she got kicked out by security. The reason is that she violated the exam rules. 3 minutes ago, the examiner announced the rules of the exam. 1. No talking to the examiner or security guard. 2. No damaging the test paper by scribbling. 3. No leaving the room. The exam lasts 80 minutes. The one who gets it right at the end will be the assistant to the boss. Annual salary is $100 million. All 8 of them have been screened and have finally entered the last round. How do you take this exam with all the test papers being blank? This woman was eliminated due of scribbling, because she broke rule number 2, scribbling to damage the test paper. But Jack soon thought of a loophole in the rules. The rules say no communication with the examiners or security guards, but it doesn't say candidates can't talk to each other. Jack talks to the man next to him, and he got up from his seat and stared walking in the room. The security guard didn't say anything about that, so it seems that they are able to interact with each other before finding the problem. The 7 competitors can work together. The girl with long hair proposed. Maybe the question has already been written. We just can't see it. We can show it with light. The crowd illuminated the paper with lights. Still nothing. Henry started brainstormed. Some lights are invisible to our eyes, like ultraviolet, infrared and X-rays. They found emergency lights on the wall. The blank paper baffled all the candidates. They smashed the lights in the room. As they predicted, the ultraviolet lights got turned on. They quickly put the paper to the purple light, but they were disappointed. It looks like this kind of light can only be used to check counterfeit money, not exam papers. Henry found that there are also hidden infrared lamp inside. With this kind of light maybe. All the women in the room took off their high heels, broke the light tube inside with the heel of the shoe. Infrared lights up in 2 seconds. Everyone picked up the test paper and compared it carefully. Still nothing. Looks like this won't work. There were only 60 minutes left. The blonde girl got an idea. Blackening the paper might reveal the problem, but that would violate rule number 2, deface the paper. Jack recalled what the examiner had said. We can't damage our own paper, but nothing on touching other people's papers. Jack scribbled on the women's papers that had been eliminated. Still no leads. If you win this test, then you $100 million, but the test paper is blank. To find out the problem, they decided to use urine. Jack tore the papers of the eliminated woman. Let Henry lick half of it with his saliva, and the other half is soaked in his own urine. But the test paper turned yellow, and nothing else happened. 57 minutes left. The guy with the glasses who had been silent spoke. He asked everyone to look at the paper carefully, to see it really clearly. Everyone else was like, what? What's there to see? There's obviously nothing on there. The woman with long hair walked up to the security guard, found a lighter in his pocket. The examiner just said we can't talk to security, but didn't say we couldn't take his stuff. The room they were now in is a large dark room. They want to try the way of developing photographs. The test paper might be photo paper. As long as the liquid coming out of the fire hose is the developer, then the problem will be solved. While they were trying to get the smoke going, the glasses dude went to the timer. What will you do if the company interview test paper is blank? The girl with long hair stepped on the table, reaching the lighter towards the fire sensor, but not enough distance. Jack handed her a test paper for her to light it. That's enough distance. The sprinkler responded immediately, but they were disappointed. What comes out of the nozzle is just ordinary water. However, then the security took the woman away. The woman is confused. Why are you taking me? It turned out that the test Jack had just handed her didn't belong to the girl who was first eliminated, but her own test. So the long-hair woman lit her own test. That was a good move on Jack's part. He made the woman got herself taken out. There are 36 minutes left on the exam, and only 6 people left. Henry could not stand Jack being so mean. He stands up and wants to kick Jack's ass. Suddenly they noticed that the lights in the room were voice activated. This test is worth $100 million. The men with glasses cried. Jack walked up to the glasses man who is having a nerve breakdown, talked him into tearing up his own paper, and the men with glasses did it. He tore up the test paper and followed Jack's lead, swallowed it. Security showed glasses man out. Only Jack himself has gotten 2 competitors out of here. Now there are 5 people left. Henry is angry. What Jack did, it's just shameless. And Jack on the other hand is proud of himself. He thinks that everyone should thank him for narrowing down the competition. Henry couldn't stand it. One punch and knocked Jack to the ground. He tied Jack to a chair and put a sock in his mouth. Henry thought, give him a taste of his own medicine. While Jack was unconscious, Henry puts the pen in his hand. Let Jack damage his own paper. Just as he was about to write, Jack wakes up from the coma. It was less than half an hour before the end of the exam, but they still don't know what the problem is. Jack said he is sick. He has to take pills every 1 hour, but the medicine in the left pocket is missing. Jack slipped back into a coma. At this time, the silent beard guy said, "The girl with the glasses is hiding something. The test is worth $100 million, but the test paper is blank." The examinees went crazy. Beard guy tied up the glasses girl. Interrogate her about the truth. Glasses girl won't say. Beard guy uses the test paper. Cut on glasses girl's thigh. She starts to bleed. Henry wants to stop beard guy, but he got pushed down. Beard guy took off the girl's glasses, grabbed her chin, and threatened, "If you don't tell the truth, the next thing to be cut will be your eyeball." Glasses girl looks at the security guard for help, but the security guard did nothing. The bearded guy opened the girl's eyelids, and the paper came closer and closer. Glasses girl gave in. She says that 10 years ago, a lot of people had this global epidemic. A medical expert developed a virus inhibitor. The death rate dropped by half in 6 months. With this technology, the company rose to become one of the world's top drug companies, with a turnover over $2 trillion, and she works for this company. She heard the boss is looking for an assistant. Salary $100 million a year. That's why she's here to try. About blank test papers. She really doesn't know anything. Beard guy let her go. This is the test site where the winning prize is $100 million. Jack suddenly began to convulse. He has to take the medicine right away, and his meds are hidden in this room. People started frisking each other, and nobody finds anything. Glasses girl knew something's wrong. She asks about the gum in beard guy's mouth. "When did you start chewing?" And it was inside beard guy's desk. They found a pill wrapped in gum. Just as she was about to feed Jack his meds, beard guy stopped her. "He's just in a coma. He won't die." Somehow, they flush the pill down the drain in a panic. Jack starts to bleed. Looks like he won't make it. Glasses girl called the examiner for help through the camera, and that violates rule number 1. So, she has to say goodbye to the $100 million. And blonde girl uses the bobby pin to pick up the pill in the drain. Makes Jack take it. Jack soon recovered. Now there are only 4 of them, and time is running out. Jack tells everyone, "There's no question at all. This is the corporate's entrance exam and only one person can live." Jack and Henry went for the guard's gun at the same time. Jack has got it, but the handgun needs fingerprints. Jack puts the guard's hand there to hold the pistol. Keep the gun pointing to the beard guy. Beard guy is afraid to move, and had to walk out of the exam room. The second one is the blonde woman. When she passed Henry, she gave him a look. Just as the blonde was about to go out, she shouted, "Turn off the lights." Henry went to grab Jack's gun. Several gunshots were fired in the room. When the lights are back on again, Henry was already shot and on the ground. Jack found one of the blonde's legs still in the exam room. He steps forward and tries to shoot her. At this moment, time's up. Jack walked out of the examination room proudly, and says to the examiner, "I won. Give me $100 million. But the security guard came over and showed him the time. The exam is not over yet. Turns out glasses guy had set the room clock faster than it was. Jack broke the first rule, and eliminated himself. He tried to end his life with a pistol, but there's no bullets in the gun. The company's test is completely blank. What exactly is the question? 8 candidates imploded. There was also a shooting happened. Finally, the blonde girl takes one leg inside the room, and luckily stayed within. Stick to the end. She picked up the glasses from the floor, and a shard of glass, and pieced together a magnifying glass. She finally found a tiny line on the test paper. It says, "There's only one question." The blonde girl recalls what the examiner said. "Any questions?" The blonde came forward with the test paper, and answers, "No questions." That's the answer, and it's that easy. Turns out the glasses guy is the boss of the company, and Henry on the ground is not dead. The blonde girl is the final winner. Salary $100 million a year. The end. The film, it's called Exam. It's recommended to see the original film. Well, that's all for this episode. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.